Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy SB, also Spennet, and today I've got a deck profile for you guys, and this is actually a real life deck profile, not one that I'm doing online. And I have to give out a huge shout out to my boy DD Kills. Known the guy for about 15 years. He has an amazing YouTube channel, mainly based around Call of Duty and FIFA. If you enjoy that, make sure to check his channel. Link to his channel will be in the description below. And also, I know some people can be quite lazy when it comes to watching deck profiles. I am myself, so the full deck profile of this deck will be in the description. So in this, it's going to be just standard heroes. I know everyone loves playing their Mars heroes, elemental heroes. We all grew up with the anime, all that sort of stuff. And this is arguably my favorite deck that I own. I'm never going to get rid of it. So without further ado, let's go straight into this deck. So firstly, we're playing 3 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. This is your most important monster. The reason for this is because she's going to be the one. Actually, no, I've never figured out. Someone put in the description below. Is Shadow Mist a guy or a girl? Seriously. Shadow Mist is going to be the one that's going to be searching your Mask Change cards. And Mask Change is the most important card because that's how you're going to get your Dick card out, which I'll mention later on. Shadow Mist is your most important card. So you play her at 3 or him at 3, whatever. So you can both search these heroes and search Mask Change. So you have to play 3 of these. Next hero, we're playing 3 Bubbleman. I know loads of people like to play 2. I like to play 3 just so we can look for these more plays and go for Absolute Zero and go for Acid afterwards. So that way we can get these complete board field destructions and everything. And Acid just helps to blow up the whole back row. Just so that way decks like Paleozoic will be struggling against us because, of course, they're all trap reliant, and this really just fucks them all over. So Bubbleman helping us to special summon itself and go into an Acid, which is strong. We're playing 1 Blazeman. Blazeman is because we're playing Polymerization in this, and because we're playing Polymerization is so we can go into Absolute Zero from Bubbleman. And what he does is he allows you to search your polymerizations, which you really want to use, and send a hero to the graveyard. So that way he gets treated as that monster. So you can when you summon Blazeman, you can send Bubbleman to the graveyard, and now he becomes Bubbleman. So it's kind of just role reversing almost. I play 1 Woodsman. If I had Wild Heart, I'd be playing Wild Heart because Wild Heart's slightly better, but only Woodsman because that way we can go into Martyra Dian. And she just helps you go into those OTK plays. You don't really need to play Woodsman, but it's just my personal preference. So that's it for the elemental heroes that we're playing. For other monsters, we're going to be playing triple Goblindbergh. Goblindbergh's the most important special summon from hand because what he's going to allow you to do is going to allow you to normal summon him, and then you can special summon another hero from your hand. In this case, it's most likely going to be a Shadow Mist because Shadow Mist's effects will kick in, so you can search a Mask Change card from your deck to your hand. Either that or you can go into another monster, just go into an easy rank 4 play, so really, really strong. One play playing 2 Summoner Monks. Summoner Monk is the most important special summon from deck because what he's going to be allowing you to do is just discard a spell card, summon a monster from your deck to your field, and just add a Mask Change because, of course, usually we're just going to be searching Shadow Mist, nothing else. So that is it for other monsters. Last 2 monsters we're playing is an Armageddon Knight and a Zephyros. Zephyros and Armageddon Knight work pretty differently. We have Armageddon Knight because if we summon him, we can send Shadow Mist to the graveyard, and Shadow Mist will allow us to either send something, add a Blazeman, a Bubbleman, or a Woodsman, etc. to our hand. So we want that. And Zephyros, he works well with Bubbleman because don't forget Bubbleman can be special summoned from your hand if there's nothing else in your hand. So if Zephyros is in your graveyard and Bubbleman's on your field, you can bounce back Bubbleman back to your hand to summon Zephyros from the graveyard, then special summon out Bubbleman again, and then go into an easy overlay 4 into like a Rafflisia. So you want to be playing these guys here. For spell cards, we're going to be playing 3 Mask Change. Mask Change is, of course, your most important spell card. Without this card, you're kind of fucked because you can't really do anything. Like, you want to be able to use this card so you can go into a Dark Claw, Acid, Anki, Dian, etc. So you want to be playing these cards, but sometimes it gets to the stage where it's like I have only got an Armageddon Knight or a Goblindbergh in my hand, and I can't really do anything. So I like to play one Mask Change 2. What this just allows me to do is it just allows me to use either the Armageddon Knight, the Zephyros, or the Goblindbergh and go into something like a Dian, so it's a bit more safer. For search, what we want to be using is we're going to be using Reinforcements of the Army. Shame this card is not at 3 anymore, but it's kind of obvious reasons why. We're going to be playing 3 Emergency Calls. These are essentials. You have to play these 4 cards just so you can get a bit more search power. Reinforcements of the Army will add something like an Armageddon Knight or a Goblindbergh or any other hero. And Equal is going to be searching all your elemental heroes. So you really want to be able to play that. More consistency, we want to play 3 Hero Lives. Sure, you're halving your life points for this, but without this card, you're really not going to be doing much because you're halving your life points to pretty much special summon Shadow Mist only, and Shadow Mist is going to allow you to search your Mask Change. So you can get the Mask Changes, and you're not even using your normal summon by using this as well, which is even better. Of course, we're playing 1 Polymerization because we're playing Absolute Zero, and 2 Instant Fusions because we're using Elder Entity Norden in this, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Soul Charge. These are very standard, and I like to play 2 Twin Twisters in this. If you do not have Twin Twisters, I know the card is not cheap. Mystical Space Typhoon does the exact same. It's just kind of you want a bit of board clear. So that's kind of it for spells. I'd say the essentials out of these are always going to be the Mask Changes, the Reinforcements of the Army, Hero Lives, and of course your equals. So you really want to be playing those. Playing Fiendish Chain, Bottomless Trap Hole, Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, Floodgate Trap Hole. These Trap Holes and Fiendish Chain are really good stun cards. You want your opponent to struggle as much as possible. And that way, you're just going to be able to clear the field. Like, I don't know why people like to play like Quaking Mirror Force in this, but I just go for the plain Mirror Forces because, as I said beforehand, I want a clear field. We don't really want to have like my opponent's monsters on the field. I mean, if you're against something like Yangzing or Cosmo or something, Quaking Mirror Force can be good because that way they're not going to be able to float, but Mirror Force is just better because I like to be able to clear the field. Solemn Warning as well because it's Solemn Warning. Not really much to say about this card. So this is all we are playing for traps. So for extra deck, it's kind of just like a bit standard. I'm going to be showing you 2 sides of it. The essentials of the extra deck and just my parts of the extra deck. So what you really want to be playing is 2 Dark Claw. Dark Claw can be played at 3, but the fact is in your deck you're pretty much only going to be going into 2 max each game. Like I prefer playing 3, but 2 is enough because I rarely ever go into 3rd Dark Claw, so 2 is absolutely fine. 1 Master Hero Anki for OTK potentials because he's going to be able to destroy a monster and search exchange to his hand. It can be a Mask Change and then Mask Change straight into the Dark Claw, and that's just what's going to help you do a lot of shit. Going into other heroes, Master Hero Acid. Acid's going to be able to blow your blow the back row, so against Paleozoics and stuff. This is going to be allowing you to blow the whole back row, so no spell and trap cards for them. Last hero is Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is if you Mask Change Absolute Zero into Master Hero Acid, Absolute Zero when leaves the field destroys all monsters your opponent controls, and so by doing that you're Mask Changing Absolute Zero into Acid, and Acid's effect kicks in and destroys all the spell and trap cards in the field. So basically this blows up the entire field that your opponent controls and just says goodbye to everything, so it's a complete fuck off to them. So these are the main hero cards that you want to be playing fusion wise. Last fusion monster we're looking at is Elder Entity Norden. Norden is probably going to get banned in next format, so it's going to be a shame if he goes because we're running instant fusion in this. If he gets banned, and you watch this video, I will reply to you if you ask what could I replace or anything like that. So just if Norden goes, but Norden is only because we want to be able to special summon from the graveyard and maybe go into a rank 4 play and mainly just abuse his effect because it's completely bullshit. And for XYZ essential, Traptrix Rafflisia, of course, because we're playing all these trap holes, you want to be able to get a Rafflisia out, and then if your opponent summons, we can just activate its effect, send the say a Bottomless or a Floodgate to the graveyard and let that effect kick in. So this is just a complete fuck off to them. These are the essentials for the extra deck. Not exactly much else you need to play, but from the rest of mine, I prefer just to chuck in a third Dark Law. Third Dark Law, an Acid, and a Dian. Dian I could class as an essential, but at the same time, she's not really. Dian you rarely summon because you're only really wanting to use Woodsman for his main effect sometimes, and because he's got 2k booty, so that's the whole thing with him. Second Acid, third Dark Law. It's just my preference. I'd like to be just a slight bit safer. For XYZs, I like to play as just a Castel, just so I can bounce back some cards. Abyss Dweller to negate graveyard effects, and Utopia Ray, and Utopia Lightning for just dirty damage. So if you do have these cards, I'd highly recommend just chucking them in because it really just allows you to just really pump up the volume and fuck up all your opponents. So it really does pack a punch, these cards. Not exactly 100% needed, but if you do have them, no harm in using them. Anyway, that has been it for this deck profile. If you have enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button and give a huge shout out again to DD Kills. Link to his channel will be in the description below, and I hope you guys have a great day. It's been your boy SB, and I am out. Peace.